Good morning, everybody. A couple of pieces of information, a quick overview so far of where we are with the magazine project. Week 4 is the week that I expect us to get going. We've had a lot of technical issues. Probably 20 to 25 students were not able to see the groups to actually sign up for. So that's delayed us starting, which is fine because honestly, this project can and should take you about 2 weeks to do, but I just like to give students flexibility because you don't know what's going on in their lives, or I don't know what's going on in your lives. And so I just like the opportunity to give you a little more time, so long as it doesn't have you procrastinating too badly. That's the reason why I require you to take your quizzes on a weekly basis, the little things that I'm doing just to try to help keep you on track. So really quick, the first thing you should have done is sign up for a group actually. Step number 2, come into your group and your group should determine the intended audience. Who is the magazine going to focus on? Who are you speaking to? Who are you designing for? Then after you came here and did your intended audience activity, and this group, and I'm using this group as a model because they're already doing a great job of working and communicating. They didn't feel comfortable, I suppose, which is fine by me. And they just had a discussion here about their audience, and they've made a decision to go with a focus on athletes. Perfect, long as you get there, okay? I give you ideas and ways, but don't feel like there's specific things I'm looking for. I mean, there are, but I also want you to be creative and I want you to have fun. So after you decide, okay, we're going to focus on athletes with food, okay? This group is food really is fuel. The next steps then are to divvy up the chapter, okay? So step 3, divvy up the chapter. And then step 4 is you've got to start making decisions about a design for your magazine. I made a video here, okay? I recommend that you go to Google Docs and do a search, and I talk about that in that video, so I'm not going to address that here. I've posted this in every single group. Or you can go into Word and do a search for, actually, I may actually show y'all that. So you go into Word, say you want to do a new document. I'm sorry, that didn't come up right. New from a template. And then if you come in here and you say newsletter, you're going to come up with a bunch of awesome designs. Guys, you can manipulate this any way you want. Actually, look at that one, restaurant newsletter for food really is fuel. And then you would select one that y'all want to agree upon, okay? And then it's going to download for you, and you manipulate this however you want. You're making a magazine. Look at magazine, get ideas. I'm not going to give you too many limitations and constraints, but look how awesome this magazine article is. You make one of these, you put it into Google Drive. Somebody in your group should have a Google Drive. If not, reach out to me. I'll put it in my Google Drive. I'll share the link. Okay, so once it gets in Google Drive, you share the link inside of your group so that people can get started working on their section. So you know if there's 9 of you and you each have 5 pages front and back, so a total of 10 pages, then you just say, okay, the first 5 pages are yours, and if you need to copy and paste these, I know this is going to be a little difficult because sometimes these images may not copy, so I get that. Again, the reason why we have the whole semester, this is due like November 25th, but really a concentrated effort, couple of weeks, you can have a great project done. Now, this is an instructional magazine, so you must cover the content. If your section is not as big or you're able to wrap it up neatly and you can use less words, more images, great. But pretend there's a student sitting in this class, or pretend we're trying to teach a group of students who are not able to afford a textbook. You are trying to teach them what's in your book, but put it in young people's language. Put it in everyday, casual, we're hanging out at the Starbucks language, okay? Try to make it simplistic. with me asking you to do that, there's a lot of learning design going on. There's a lot of learning sciences that support this. For you to actually be able to explain it, you got to think about it. When you think about something, you learn it. So I can't make you do the whole book, but I am letting you pick things that you have a greater interest in. Think through it. How can I explain it? Use images, be creative. As long as you cover all of the content for your section and you are correct and you don't have grammatical errors and you use images, that's it. Like, I know y'all are used to professors like beating you up. As you're working, I'm going to be watching and give you feedback. So by the time the project is due, you're not going to be, oh, sorry, you didn't do this, that, and the other, and -10, and there's no, I'm not going to treat you that way. Okay, as you're working, once you share in here with me, I'm going to be checking in every week and seeing how the project's coming. And I'll give you feedback. Once it goes in a Google Doc, I can easily add comments to the side, okay? Easily add comments to the side. So let me just go here, okay? Let me pull up our syllabus. This is in Google Docs. If there's something that's missing or something that I really like, I can simply highlight it and this little plus mark pops up and I can add your comment. Woohoo, great job, I really love this, keep going. Or, hey, you're on track, but you need to add this or you need to add that. We can do effective group works in a fully online space. GroupWorks really does help you. Plus, this is probably not even fair to be called a group work because while you are collaborating, your grade is not dependent upon others. If Nikki Bray does not submit her part of the project, she gets a 0, nobody else is penalized. Now, it does impact the whole chapter of our magazine, but I'll fill that gap in later, okay? So don't worry so much about all the abuse you have had in group work in the past. Divvy up the work, take your section and get to work. Have fun, be creative, inspire, learn, make sure that you are just get into this, okay? This is not supposed to be as hard as you guys think that it is. And if you have questions, ask me. Jump online. I've been on call all week on video calls and only 2 people have piped in. And I have dedicated like 15 hours to this. So I am starting to get frustrated when you think that you're confused and yet you don't do any of the online meetings and you don't want to read. So watch my videos, talk to me, don't say you're confused. Get with me. There's no reason for you to be confused because if you and I have a conversation, I can squash that confusion. Okay? Get started with projects. I want to come into the course, into your discussion, and I should be able to see, like this group here, they have already divvied up. They've got 1 section. If you guys don't have anybody new, y'all need to re-divvy this up. After this week, starting week 4, starting on Monday, you guys should pick a design, make enough pages for everybody to have their page. You can do more, but you can't do less. So if you need 6 pages to cover your content, fine. But you must do at least 5 pages front and back. Got it? And if you have questions about that, let me know. But don't think I'm a stickler. Put your link to the Google document, your magazine, inside of your discussion so I can click it and I can follow along and I can give the group feedback. I'll check in every week, give you feedback, make sure you're not falling off. So like I said earlier, by the time it's time to turn in the project, you know you've earned an A. You know you've done what I want you to do. Too many rules constrict creativity. You've got to be okay in my class with not having so many restrictions, okay? I know you're so used to people being so, I get it. I am not that way. Help me build our own textbook, okay, for students that honestly take my class and I know they cannot afford a book. This helps you because it helps you learn. This helps me because it helps me help students. I really want to use your book as an option moving forward. And if there's gaps, I'm going to figure out how to fill those in. Okay? And if y'all have gaps and people want to sign up and do extra, I'll talk to you, email me. We'll talk about potential bonus points. Okay, I have an agenda, and that is to support students and to make sure you're learning and not just earning grades. I care above the grade. Forget the grades. I hate grades. I want you to focus on learning. Okay, so I'm going to every week have certain times where I'm going to be sitting online. If those times don't work for you, great. Shoot me a message when you need to meet. Can we meet sometime today? And I'm happy to try to find some time. Okay? So let's get going. I'm going to have a lot more details. This is my first time trying to organize a project and a fully online with 88 students. And then we've had so many technical issues. So honestly, I've been so consumed with figuring out and working with IT to get this resolved for you guys. So starting Monday, you'll see the information. I'm sure I'll make another video and I'll have some more detailed instructions underneath the project section. So when you go to course home, actually when you go to content, excuse me, when you go to content and then you click on group magazine, I'm going to add some additional information in here. Okay, so everything that you're going to need to know will be here by Monday. There should be no confusion. And I know you guys wanted to start early, but we had to get signed up and we had issues. So that has delayed us, okay? But we are good. You have lots of time. And when you look at the course outline, guys, I built in a whole week essentially for you guys to do nothing but review for your midterm and work on your project. You got a whole week there and go back and practice quizzes. So the week of October 7th, you don't even have any content. I'm sorry, the week leading up to that. So this week right here, leading up to October 7th, all you're doing is working on your project. So if you need a break, you can take a little downtime, or you can say, I'm going to knock out my part of the project. So we're here. Muscles need oxygen. So after next week, week 4, this is week 5. I'm giving y'all a whole week, and then your midterms open up the next week. And then on the 14th, we get started with the second half of the course. I'm sorry, on the 7th it opens. These are the end dates. So on the 7th, the second half of the course opens. All right, much better job getting to work in the course. Just wanted to talk again about this project. Sorry for this really, really long video. I try to keep them very short. Okay, ask questions Monday after you see everything inside of the, the project section. All right, we should be ready to get started working on Monday, no later. All right, everybody have a great weekend.